I call this meeting to order on March 12th, 2019. And City Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Abraham?
Present.
Commissioner McElroy?
Present.
Commissioner Watkins?
Present.
Commissioner Wilson?
Present.
Mayor Harless?
Present. And Commissioner Wilson, would you lead us in the invocation, please? Thank you. Please join us.
Please pray with me. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you on behalf of all of us who are gathered here for the many blessings we have. Thank you for the ability to be involved in useful work on behalf of our community. We come to you asking for your guidance and support as we begin this meeting. Please grant us wisdom and as we make decisions on behalf of our citizens. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. Please stay standing and join us in the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to its republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. You may be seated. City Manager, are there any additions or deletions to the agenda tonight?
Yes, Madam Mayor, we do have one addition. It's listed on the agenda under item 3D to approve change order number 1 for Kresge building demolition.
Thank you very much. We'll discuss that when we come up to it on the agenda. We do have a presentation, but they're not here yet, so we're going to move on into business and maybe adjust accordingly. So we're going to move to the consent agenda. Items on the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the Board of Commissioners and will be enacted by one motion and one vote. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a board member so requests. Does anyone have anything they'd like to remove tonight? All right. And I'll ask the City Clerk to read the items recommended for approval.
Minutes for the February 19th, 2019 and February 26th, 2019 City Commission meetings. Reappointment of Jan Stroop, Bill Wells, and Steve Seltzer to the Paducah Golf Commission. These terms shall expire March 26, 2023. Receive and file documents. Personnel actions. A municipal order authorizing an application for a 2019-2020 Kentucky Household Hazardous Waste Grant through the Kentucky Division of Waste Management in an amount of $25,500 to assist in funding the City-County Annual Spring Cleanup Day and authorizing the mayor to execute all documents related to same. A municipal order accepting grant funds through the Kentucky Office of Homeland Security, KOHS, for a fiscal year 16 state Homeland Security grant in the amount of $54,082 for the purchase of bomb suits and related items for the Paducah Police Department and authorizing the mayor to execute all documents related to same. A municipal order authorizing the purchase of bomb suits, helmets, and suit repair kits for the Paducah Police Department in an amount of $48,154 through the U.S. General Services Administration Cooperative Purchasing Schedule 84 vendor MED-ENG and additional related items in an amount of $5,928 through the vendor MED-ENG and authorizing the mayor to execute all documents related to same. A municipal order authorizing the purchase of handheld Motorola radios for the Paducah Police Department in an amount of $27,745 through the Kentucky Master Agreement vendor Motorola Solutions and authorizing the mayor to execute all documents related to same. A municipal order declaring a real property located at 4051 Pecan Drive to be surplus property and authorizing the transfer of said property to Atmos Energy along with permanent public utility easements at 4063, 4075, and 4161 Pecan Drive and temporary construction easement for and in consideration of $36,600 and authorizing the mayor to execute the deed, easement agreements, and all documents related to same.
And I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Thank you. Call roll, please.
Commissioner Abraham?
Aye.
Commissioner McElroy?
Aye.
Commissioner Watkins?
Aye.
Commissioner Wilson?
Aye.
Mayor Harless?
Aye. And I just received a message from Mary Hammond. Anita Dixon's actually coming to the last meeting of the month. So we'll just move her, if that's okay. All right. All right, moving on to the first emergency ordinance. Commissioner Wilson.
I move that the Board of Commissioners introduce and adopt an ordinance entitled, An Ordinance Establishing a 911 Communications Division of the Paducah Police Department, abolishing the 911 Communications Department, and declaring an emergency to exist. This ordinance is summarized as follows. In this emergency ordinance, the City of Paducah amends Chapter 2 of the Paducah Code of Ordinances to abolish the 911 Communications Service Department and create a 911 Communications Service Division of the Paducah Police Department.
Second.
City Manager, do you want to make any further comments?
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. I'll just add that this is basically what this does. This places Ed McManus underneath Chief Laird in our organizational structure and moves the division of 911 from a department underneath the police department. This is being done in order to keep us in compliance with the regulations through Kentucky State Police as well as the federal government.
Any questions, comments? No? All right. Call roll, please.
Commissioner Abraham?
Aye.
Commissioner McElroy?
Aye.
Commissioner Watkins?
Aye.
Commissioner Wilson?
Aye.
Mayor Harless.
Aye. And Commissioner Watkins.
I move that the Board of Commissioners introduce an ordinance entitled, an ordinance approving the final report of the Paducah Planning Commission on the proposed final subdivision for property located at 319 Bleach Road, accepting the dedication of right-of-way, accepting public utility easements, and authorizing the mayor to subscribe a certificate of approval on the plat. This ordinance is summarized as follows, that the City of Paducah does hereby approve the final report of the Paducah Planning Commission respecting the proposed final subdivision of property of Ridgewood Villas Condominiums, Phase 2 for property located at 319 Bleach Road, and accepting the dedication of right-of-way and easements. In addition, the City of Paducah hereby accepts an updated letter of credit in an amount of $100,000 and authorizes the mayor to subscribe a certificate of approval on the plat.
Second.
Hi, Rick.
Mayor, excuse me, Mayor, Commission, this development is in its final phase. The developer has satisfied all conditions of the city in order to move forward with this, and we're excited about bringing this. It gives many of our residents more options as far as housing goes.
Great. Anyone have any comments, questions?
Is that right where Kmart is, or next to Kmart? I was trying to.
Directly behind it.
Okay.
As you're going down Bleach Road, is on
the
your
left.
left, and it's right across from the Lone Oak football field, or what used to be the Lone Oak football field.
Graveyard.
Graveyard. That is correct.
Thank
Be
you.
the new Lone Oak Middle School. Where that will be right across from it.
Wow, that's great. All right. Thank you so much. Next up, you want to stay up here? I guess you are. Okay, Commissioner McElroy?
Yes. I move that the Board of Commissioners introduce an ordinance entitled, an ordinance approving contract amendment to number 1 with Markham Engineering LLC for a price increase in the amount of $59,500 for additional services for the City Hall Phase 1 project. This ordinance is summarized as follows. The City of Paducah approves contract amendment number 1 with Markham Engineering for an overall price increase in the amount of $59,500 for an additional services for the City Hall Phase 1 project, henceforth increasing the total contract price to $396,500, and authorizes the mayor to execute the contract amendment.
Second.
Mayor, Commission, I'm happy to report this will be the last change order I'll bring to you on this project as it's reaching its conclusion. That particular change order, you'll recall our asbestos discovery and some of those substances that we did not anticipate. A portion of that is for that. We also added our landscaping on the outside. It's not totally complete yet, as you can see. We need more favorable conditions for that. An extension to the project as the project got a little bit longer because we made some changes on the deck in order to realize some of the $222,000 worth of savings on the deck. They had to do some additional engineering to get that. So a big part of that is some of the changes that we made to save money. So overall, we've saved money on the project.
Great.
Looking great.
It is.
Looking forward to May 2nd.
Absolutely. May 2nd. Mark your calendars. Our big celebration. All right, Commissioner Abraham.
I move that the Board of Commissioners introduce an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the City of Paducah making certain findings concerning and establishing a development area of economic development purposes within the City of Paducah, McCracken County, Kentucky, to be known as the Downtown Riverfront Development Area, approving a local participation agreement between the City of Paducah and the County of McCracken and the City of Paducah Finance Department, establishing the process for administering the plan, establishing an incremental tax special fund for approved public infrastructure costs and development assistance, and designating the City of Paducah Finance Department as the agent responsible for oversight, administration, and implementation of this ordinance and the special fund, authorizing the mayor to take such other appropriate actions as are necessary or required in connection with the establishment of the development area. This ordinance is summarized as follows. The City of Paducah hereby establishes a downtown riverfront development area to encourage investment and redevelopment within the development area, approves a local participation agreement with McCracken County Fiscal Court to establish the process for administering the plan, establishing an incremental tax special fund for approved public infrastructure costs, and designates the Public Finance Department as the oversight agency, administration, and implementer of the ordinance and special fund. Further, the mayor is hereby authorized to execute all documents related to same.
Second.
All right. Any questions, thoughts, statements? Just to remind those watching and those in our audience, we had this conversation with the county in a joint meeting with them not too long ago. And what this does is it does not, as Judge Clymer pointed out many times, this is not a new tax. This is actually freezing new tax revenue that might come in because of new development that will happen. So I'm really thankful, actually, that the county is involved with us on this, because they're also saying they'll also be willing to freeze their taxes moving forward once this is approved. So the next step is for us to send this off to the state and for them to do their analysis, which will take several months, and for us to cross our fingers that we hear back from them that they said yes. So a great mechanism for our community, and I'm looking forward to us maybe doing more TIF districts in the future. So the more we can learn and understand it, the better off we'll be.
Yeah, the only thing I would add is some people are concerned that we've already approved plans or that there are certain plans that go with this, but this is just to establish a district.
That's right.
Anything that we do, especially on public property, would have a lot of public input.
That's right.
So don't panic. We're just trying to establish that district, and I think it's going to be a great thing.
Absolutely. Good point. Anyone else? Okay, we'll move ahead. And Commissioner Wilson.
I move that the Board of Commissioners introduce an ordinance entitled, an ordinance approving a change order to the agreement for demolition services with Danny Cope & Sons Excavating LLC relating to the Kresge Building located at 316, 318, and 320 Broadway in an amount of $14,160 and ratifying the mayor's execution of said change order. This ordinance is summarized as follows. The City of Paducah approves change order number 1 to the demolition services agreement with Danny Cope & Sons Excavating for an overall price increase in the amount of $14,160 for services related to additional brackets for bracing for the Kresge demolition project, henceforth increasing the total contract price to $587,160, and ratifies the mayor's execution of said change order.
Second.
City Manager?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just to kind of summarize what's going on down there, we have had great success so far with the demolition project. We will see some tremendous progress made over the next 2 days, as most of the structures will be actually taken down to the ground. One issue that we ran into was the joining wall between Regions Bank and the Kresge Building. If you can kind of visualize in your mind when you're looking at those buildings along Broadway, it looks like a portion of Regions Bank was actually, Regions Bank was actually built after the structure next to it where Kresge's at, and a portion of Regions Bank looks like it may have been built on top of this adjoining wall. So basically the contractor's trying to cut the building away, and we're trying to brace it to make sure that when we do cut the rest of the building away, Regions Bank wall doesn't fall in. So we're bracing it temporarily. We'll have the engineers look at it some more, and then we'll make contact with Regions Bank.
Great. Any questions about that tonight? We need to actually approve this. No, we didn't do that.
This is just for introduction.
This is just introduction. Okay, great.
And what this basically will do, we'll bring it back at the next commission meeting, but just ratifying your signature.
Okay, great. All right, and do you have a report for us tonight?
No, I do not, Madam Mayor.
All right, congratulations. That's probably why you don't have a report, because you're a new grandfather now. That's exciting. Any comments from the commissioners?
I just want to invite everyone, 4 p.m. on Thursday, there's a groundbreaking for Midtown Development. It's a new subdivision area. Yeah. It's not housing, of retail, just down from Midtown, just down from the Coke plant on Lone Oak Road, 130 Lone Oak Road.
Excellent.
New growth.
Thanks for sharing.
An empty area there.
It's got a big fence around it right now.
Right by the middle
and a big
school.
sign by Wheeler Wellness right in there.
Cool.
Anyone else? All right, I have a few things I wanted to share with you all. Judge Clymer and I went to Frankfurt about a week and a half ago to Aerospace Day, Kentucky Aerospace Day. As you might have remembered at the Chamber State of the City and County address, he talked about being very interested in aerospace and aviation. So we went together along with the chair-elect of the Airport Board, Jay Matheny. And so we had a really, really good experience. They had in the Capitol, they had a bunch of booths set up from aerospace industry-related vendors. So there were manufacturers. Morehead State has a huge aerospace education program. They were there. We met actually the Commissioner of Aviation, who was a really nice guy, and ended up telling us that he recently gave the governor the conversation about our airport to speak with some of our federal representatives as well. So they're in our corner, which is exciting to me, and we had a lot of those conversations, and I think there's really definitely some interest, and hopefully we can keep pushing that forward. I also last week had the privilege of going out to Phoenix Paper and having lunch with the owner of the parent company, who I had a chance to meet in China. The company's called Shane Ying. They're the ones who own Phoenix Paper, and they call him the chairman. He's the owner of the company, and he was in town, so I had the privilege of having lunch with them. And I brought him our little Paducah pin that Mary Hammond gives out and handed it to him. So that was great. And then we're preparing a visit to Gincana next Friday, and so we do have a few spots open. We can't have a quorum, and I don't think, never mind, I can't invite anybody. I was like, maybe I could invite someone up here, but Commissioner Wilson and I are going along with Glenn Anderson, and we're going to see their operations in Winchester, so we'll get to kind of get a little bit more knowledge about what they're up to and how they're thinking. We also had the kickoff of Citizens Academy, and I had the privilege of welcoming our class, and all of you, I think, are scheduled to be there at some point in the future, so I heard that Jeopardy was really exciting, and that was a good kickoff. And then also last week, Main Street and Katie had a very successful volunteer a celebration at the Smedley Geyser. She had a huge turnout. I was very impressed by that. And then finally, next week, we will be meeting with the county at the courthouse. And the two items on the agenda so far, actually and probably finalized, would be we're going to hear from Mark Wadier about the census coming up, and we will be creating a joint city-county census counting committee, I think is what they call them. And so that will basically be a way for us to promote to our community why it's so important to return your census documents. So he'll give a presentation, and then we'll discuss 911. And you'll be getting a document from me probably in the next 24 hours, 48 hours about that, so you can kind of prepare for the discussion. So that was a lot. I had a lot tonight. Yeah.
Good, thank you.
That's
Anything
Tuesday
else?
at the courthouse at, was it 5 or 5:30?
5:30. We have to do 5:30. Commissioner
sorry, I
Wilson has a
can't be
board
there at
meeting.
5.
Yeah, 5:30 on Tuesday, the 19th. Okay.
Courtroom D.
Courtroom D. And that will be announced publicly by, what do you think, Friday, Monday?
By Thursday.
By Thursday. Yeah. Okay. All right. Excellent. Anyone else have anything? Okay. We have anything else? Anyone else in the public want to make a comment? Make sure you fill this out if you do. But for now, Mr. Beeler.
If you ever decide to stop there, you may want to try auctioneering.
I talk fast, don't I? My dad always told me that.
I'm going to keep mine real quick, too. The three city attorney's offices, their opinions on us, this resolution, they all stated that you had to be treated even-handedly. Well, we all know I've went through this. We weren't treated even-handedly, and we're not pursuing this too much further. I have a suggestion. They all also said that the parade application needed to be rewritten. Paducah City Veterans Day Parade 2019 will include all living and deceased veterans from the signing of the armistice, November 11th, 11 a.m., World War I to present, with the exception of the DAR, which has been in the parade since it started, i.e., no Confederates, no Sons of Confederates, no battle flags. With this, then there won't be no need for a resolution. Mr. Arndt, you said we were looking for a win-win. This is about as win-win as I know. We won't be around. The resolution needs to be rescinded. We'd be happy. Y'all could be happy. As they say, don't shoot the messenger. You may not like the flag, but our message is much different than what's being portrayed. I offered my hand to Mr. Cleary last week. We're trying to cure this the best way we know how. But that's about the simplest thing. Rewrite your parade permit. We're out of the parade. Everybody's happy. We go on to the parades in the adjoining counties, which we've been in for 5-6 years also. Does anyone have a question? Please talk to me because I feel like I'm talking to the wall sometimes. Not going to get it, am I? Go ahead,
Any
Brandy.
thoughts? Oh, I'm
Like
not
you
gonna
said, I've known
say.
you
I'm
since
asking-
you're 3 years
No,
old.
I'm asking for thoughts. Randy, don't.
Is this not fair? Miss Horace, I didn't mean to say Brandy, but it's
Listen, I'm
okay.
the mayor.
Mayor.
I'm the mayor, Randy.
Okay.
This is something to think about.
It
You
is.
just throw it out here. We don't have it written down. There's no way for us to, I mean, I'm sorry. I don't know
That's
what else to
okay.
get
I
you,
didn't
but
prepare nobody.
I think,
And
yeah.
I didn't expect y'all to give me an answer tonight, but I expected that maybe y'all will sit down and talk about this because I think it's a fair resolution to the resolution. We get rid of it, we're happy. Y'all keep us out of the parade, y'all are happy. Nobody has a problem, and I can shave. I said I wouldn't shave till this was over, and my wife's about to kill me. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Randy. All right, any other comments? No? All right, I'm going to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned.